Welcome back to another biking video on doing stuff and filming it. We're back on with the Lifan King today. I'm going to call this the start of the restoration that I talked about in my Virago video. There's going to be a lot of work. We're going to start with two small-ish tasks. First is I've acquired a new battery for it. Quite possibly the smallest automotive battery I've ever seen, but multiple sources on the internet said this is the right one. I mean, as long as it starts the thing, I don't really care. It is quite a bit smaller than the battery that's on it, so hopefully it will actually fit in the bike and not have to be wedged in the chassis like the other one and get all bashed up. So that's going on, which should be simple. Will probably end up being more fiddly than it should be. Second thing we're doing, I've been sent a new tank gauge surround thing. This was by a chap that found me on YouTube. He's also doing a Lifan King project bike. His looks a fair bit nicer than mine at the moment, but I'm hoping to overtake him. And yeah, he put in the comments that he had a spare one of these. Would I like it? And yeah, we arranged and I bought it off him. Comes with the glass. We'll do that. Again, should be a fairly simple job, but I get the feeling it's going to end up being more complicated than it should be. Alright, let's get on with it. Right, hopefully there's enough light in here for the camera to do a good job, because I had to shut the showroom doors because it's windy as all outside. Now the battery is behind there. Now the reason I'm replacing it is, well, it's fucked. It won't accept charge. My smart charger refuses to charge it. I put it on my dumb charger, I suppose you could say, and it puts power in, but then by the time I put it on the bike, it's just gone again. Even the bike charging up, I could ride it for 2 hours, park it for 5 minutes, and it's flat again. It's fucked. In fact, I can show you now. There's a bike on, and it just won't fucking go. Yep. That's all you're getting. All that happens is the little light on the gauges just dims. The voltmeter doesn't even move. So it's fucked. Right, let's get on with replacing it. So to do that, we have to release the seat, which is the key on the other side of the bike. It allows that to lift up and away. And then we undo this screw here. And the Lifan King has a brilliant little feature, which I may have mentioned before in previous videos. It has this little tray here, which is good. You can slot like your phone or your wallet in there, but you can also just plop your screws in. There we go, take that out of the way. I'm always very careful with my plastics because you can't get replacements. That is the battery. You can see here, look, it's meant to slot in there. I suspect this isn't the original battery for this bike. I doubt even the Chinese would make it so that it rests on the chassis, and it's actually dented the battery in. If I pull this out, look at that. It's not good. So what we shall do is undo these two screws and disconnect it. Okay, maybe we won't. There we go. There we go. You can really see, really see what it's done to it. It's just dented it in. That is, it doesn't actually say on it, I had to look it up from this code. It's a 9 amp hour battery. Most of the sources online were recommending either a 5 or a 6. I've got a 5. At the end of the day, I'm not overly interested in massive cold cranking performance, so I can live with it. Interestingly, I don't know what that is for. That's not connected to anything. Yeah. That's not connected to anything. This is the first time I've taken this battery out. Oh look, there is evidence it's been leaking. Look, that white crusty stuff all over my nice chassis or frame. Okay, not sure what that is for. Possibly some sort of earth strap. I mean, it's obviously not doing very much because everything works on this bike, so whatever. Maybe we'll reconnect it. Right, okay. New battery. I'm just going to offer it up first. Now, if anything, that's a bit on the small side. It's obviously meant to have some sort of strap around here, but at least it actually fits in like it's supposed to. Try the old one in again. See what I mean? It's too wide. You can't fit it all the way in.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
I get the feeling this has been at a garage at some point and they've needed a battery for it and didn't have the exact one or didn't know what the exact one was, so they just picked one that looked sort of the right shape and shoved it in. Never mind. It does now, however, raise the question of what's the best way to secure this, because that's so much smaller. That's going to rattle around and the only thing holding it in is the plastic cover, which is not ideal. I need to find a way to secure this before we go any further. See, I told you it wouldn't be that simple. You know what, I can't find anything that's remotely suitable. I need some sort of rubber strap with hooks on the end to go around there. So for now, I'm just going to use 2 cable ties to hold it in place. I just noticed as well, the terminals are the other way around on this. Going to make the wiring on interesting. I'm going to have to like cross them over. Deal with that in a minute. Right, that's not going anywhere, and I suppose cable ties are very Chinese, aren't they? So that kind of works. I'll find a rubber strap for it eventually. This is going to be a long form restoration, you could say. Right. It also came with these handy little doobadoos for attaching everything with, because the doobadoos for the other battery are rusted to shit. This is probably my most useful tool, and it came from the spare wheel toolkit off an old Vauxhall Vectra, like a 1995 model or something it was. Right, that's on securely. Let's turn her over. Good, showing just over 12 volts on the gauge on the bike. It's not going to start because the kickstand's down, but we can try this. Good. That is good, strong turnover, is that, which is way more than the old battery has done for fucking ages. Right, let's go for a proper start, just to make sure it's running before we put the cover back on. But starts, runs, revs up, happy days, and we can move on with the next task. Happy days. Oh. The bike hasn't run in quite some time, which is why it's struggling to keep going, but there we go. Excellent. Job's a good one. There we go. First task on the Lifan King restoration journey. It's sorted. Proper happy with that now. Feels like I'm on my way. Okay, task number 2. Right, next is this thing, which I believe is called the tank surround. Yeah, let's go with that. That's what it's called. It's surround. Well, it doesn't surround the tank. Tank, gauge, gear indicator, filler, cap, surround. This big silver plastic thing that's cracked all over the place and looks like shit, that's coming off, and we're putting a new-ish one on. Well, I think it's actually older than this one, but it's in one piece. So let's do that. I'm going to do this left-handed because the bike is on the wrong side of the showroom and I can't be fucked to move it. It's supposed to come off in one go, not in installments. Now, how does one get the fuel gauge off the back of here? With those screws, evidently. Okay. Oh, or you could throw it on the floor. That is our gauge, and what I'll do, I'll keep the glass and the little rubber grommets that come with this and just chuck the plastic, because you never know when that might come in handy. And if you have perfectly good functioning parts for a bike like this, it's best to keep them, even if you have newer, better parts, because you never know when a part might break and you won't be able to replace it. So it's always good to build up a nice parts bin. I have parts for various vehicles throughout my house, and it's a wonder any woman ever stays with me. But yeah, we're keeping that. The new one has the glass and the little rubber O-ring, but it doesn't have this like plastic locating ring. That is hard plastic. It feels similar to this. So, as if to illustrate my point, that's why you should keep parts, because I'd be a bit stuck with it without that. In fact, what that does is it sits in there like that. Right, and we'll reuse the screws from mine because they're nice and clean and shiny, and these are all rusty. Yeah, so far this is going really well. Just wondering when it's going to go wrong, which is the story of my life, really. That's one screw in. Look at that, I've even got it the right way round. Oh, you know what I've forgotten? There's meant to be a little rubber grommet goes along here. Oh, where's that? I've put it somewhere safe. Fuck.
20 minutes later.
There we go. Found it. It's been sitting on my desk for months whilst I try and find a replacement. Now, I did think about gluing it on, but I'm fairly sure that with this intact it holds itself in place, so we won't do that. Kind of want to avoid doing stuff that's too permanent, just in case this one breaks like the other one did, and then I'm stuffed because I can't get this off. Because you can bet this will be even harder to find than that. So, let's lift that off. And if it doesn't work, then I can always glue it later. Right, there we go, that sits on there. That's a much neater finish, you have to admit. Right. Right, there we go. That's... See, this rubber thing, it's flush in places, but others, look, it comes away. That might have to be glued after all, but that does look a lot better already. And it's literally just a piece of plastic. Now, this is it when you're doing work like this. I keep calling it restoration. I know it's not going to be a complete restoration, but that's not the point. It's amazing how much of a difference little things like this make to a job. I mean, yes, things like full engine rebuilds, you know, when they're necessary, they have their place and they are important. But if you're doing a restoration job or some work on any sort of vehicle or anything, and you feel like it's just so much work and you're not getting anywhere and you're never going to get there, just do something like this, and it just improves it so much, and you'll feel better for it. You'll feel like you've actually made progress, and this was a 10-minute job. So yeah, Stuart's top tip of the day: do the aesthetics as well as the major shit, which is kind of obvious now that I say it out loud. Yeah, anyway, whatever. I think I shall go and find some glue just for these corners, just to hold this rubber on, and then we'll call that it. There we go. Super glue to the rescue. Got like a pack of 20 of these for £1 from Poundland. Jobs are good. And right, just going to put a small amount on this leading edge here, because when I've been riding this bike before, when this was on, what was happening was the wind would catch it and slowly pull it out like that, which was a bit distracting and annoying. So, tiny amount. Just got to hold it on until the glue sets slightly. There we have it. I'm quite happy with that. Let me get you a close-up shot. There you are. That, like I said earlier, improved the look of this bike immensely. I mean, you walk up to it, and if it wasn't filthy, of course, you look at it, see, as people do, other bikers look at people's bikes, and the first thing you see is that's all smashed up. It just makes the bike look like shit. Doesn't matter what the rest of it's like. That's, it's such a big shiny piece. The tank is like, it's almost like a centerpiece on a lot of bikes, especially cruiser style ones like this. Yeah, if it looks shit, the bike looks shit. So yeah, for first restoration task, that's not half bad, is that? I mean, it's still bearing the hallmarks of a cheap Chinese bike. Like, that cap doesn't sit in the middle. This is in the right place, it's screwed on properly, but yeah, that doesn't line up, and it's not straight, but you know what, I can live with that. It's not the end of the world, but it looks great. And yeah, we've got the rubber back on it as well, because even before that fully broke, the rubber had come off and it looked shit just like that. So yeah, we've got that nicely on. Yeah, we are on our way. Just double check it's working. Yep, that's working as well. Fantastic. Right, we'll close this video off. Short and simple. Well, short for me anyway. Next month is going to be a bit more involved, because we're going to be doing some work on the Virago. Quite a bit of work too. So yeah, see you next month. For now, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this video on doing stuff and filming it. Please don't forget to press the big button here in the middle to subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you liked what you just saw, please click the like button below and leave a comment letting me know what you liked about it. And as always, thank you for watching.